Hello, sports fans. Welcome to Howard on Sports. My name is Howard. Today, we're going to talk about the teams that I root for and why I root for them. And I have props. Very exciting today. First prop, the Yankees. Why do I root for the Yankees? I grew up in New York, right? And it was the 70s. And the Yankees were great. 1977, 1978. I was an impressionable young child, and they won the World Series both of those years. 77 was magical because Reggie Jackson hit 3 home runs in the World Series in the clinching game. 1978, the Yankees were in second place, I think, or I'm not sure what place they were in, but they were many games behind the Boston Red Sox. I think it was 14 games in August, and they came all the ways back, and they ended up tying the Red Sox for first place, and they had a one-game playoff, and then the Yankees won that game, and it was an exciting game at Fenway Park. So those were two really magical seasons, and I was hooked for life. Now, obviously, like every team, the Yankees have given me my share of disappointment, but a lot of winning, right? They've won 7 World Series in my lifetime, so I cannot complain. So definitely a Yankees fan for life. Let's go to football. I am a Giants fan. Why? Well, interesting story. I started out being a Jets fan for a good 5 or 6 years. And then what happened was when I was in high school, ninth grade, my science teacher had to take a leave for some reason. He was out for a few weeks, and his replacement was Mr. Mowat. Mr. Mowat was a really cool guy, and as it turns out, he was the brother of Zeke Mowat, who was the tight end for the New York Giants. Good tight end, too. And I just thought that was so cool. Like, wow, I know. I mean, he's not famous, but in my mind, I'm like, it's sort of like knowing someone who was famous. And he was a good teacher. I wish he had stayed. He was better than the regular teacher. Anyway, so and I think I was looking for an excuse to start rooting for the Giants because they were trending in the right direction and more so than the Jets. And I had a feeling they were going to be really good. And as it turns out, 2 years later, they won the Super Bowl. So at least I'm not a total, bandwagon jumper because if I would have started rooting for them after they won the Super Bowl, that would have been lame. So I started rooting for the Giants 2 years before they won the Super Bowl. So anyway, that's the reason why I root for the Giants. And like the Yankees, they've given me yeah, they've given me an upset stomach from time to time, but truthfully, they've won 4 Super Bowls in my lifetime. I can't really complain. It's been more good than bad overall. So definitely a Giants fan for life. But now let's talk about a team that is not good at all, and it's very strange that I root for them, but I do. And that is in basketball. I root for the Nets. Not even Brooklyn so much, New Jersey. New Jersey Nets. Why do I root for the Nets? Well, basically, it's because of the uniforms, right? Back in the 70s, they had these, I guess, like red, white, and blue uniforms with stars going down the side. It was just so cool. I love those uniforms. And that's honestly the only reason why I started rooting for them. Also, so that was in the 70s. The Knicks were not that good then. Maybe if the Knicks were like a championship caliber team, I would have been rooting for them. But the Knicks and the Nets both stunk. So I was like, hey, let's just go with the team that has the better uniform. So that was the Nets. Obviously, the Nets have changed uniforms over the years and they've changed where they play. I still root for them, but not as much as when I was rooting for them in New Jersey. And the New Jersey Nets didn't make it to back-to-back championships, neither of which they won. But I did get a lot of enjoyment out of those championship appearances because when you root for a team that stinks and you stay loyal to them, when they're finally good, you do feel that sense of of pride and accomplishment. So, all right, lastly, hockey. The New York Islanders. Why do I root for the Islanders? Well, as it turns out, as I think I've said in the previous video, I'm not a huge hockey fan. One of my goals is to try to get more into hockey, to learn to understand the rules better, and to learn some more of the players. So hopefully I'll be doing that. But the basic reason why I like the Islanders is because in the early 80s, they won 4 Stanley Cups in a row, and they were a great team. And I was aware of what was going on. I was following it to some extent. And when you have a championship team right in your backyard, so to speak, that makes an impression on you when you're younger. So I always rooted for the Islanders. And I hope in the future I will get more into them. You know, I went to a game last year at the UBS Arena. I enjoyed that. So yeah, I definitely would like to get more into hockey. And the Islanders are going to be the team that I am rooting for. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video. And if anyone wants to talk about the teams that they root for and why they root for them, feel free to put that in the comment section.